So part of the old story is that things only change in the universe when you exert a force on them. So when you apply that paradigm to social change or political change or even spiritual change, interpersonal change, how do you change people? How do you change systems? Well, you have to exert some kind of force. So the force could take the form of military force, could take the form of political force, could take the form of financial force, making people do things that they wouldn't ordinarily do. It could take the form of psychological force, using shame and guilt and conditional approval to manipulate people into doing something. It could take the form of logical force. Like, how do you change somebody's mind who believes in, I don't know, scientific materialism, or who doesn't believe in scientific materialism, whatever your position is? How do you change someone's mind? Well, I will present them with evidence, and then I will use logic. I'll apply logic to this evidence, and I will overcome their position. That's a kind of a force. It actually doesn't work. If you're faced with somebody, I mean, you and I could have an argument and about some topic, and maybe I'm better prepared. I have more evidence, and I destroy you. Haha. Do you go home then? And yeah, Charles, you're right. Climate change is a hoax, or you're right, climate change is for real, or whatever. Are you going to go home and having been overcome? No. You're going to go home, you're going to find somebody who agrees with you on the internet, and you're going to take refuge in that. So basically, this whole, and this is related to another part of the old story, which is, I call it the war on evil, that says the problem in the world is something bad, a bad guy, usually. I mean, all Hollywood movies, well, almost all action movies at least, and most kids' movies have the same plot, which is this kind of deranged, inexplicably evil lion or person or robot or something, some bad thing is causing a problem. And the resolution comes with the total defeat, humiliation, and usually death of the evildoer. So we apply that, of course, in politics, and in many, many arenas. And that's all part of the old story. Now, I'm not saying that there's never a time to fight, but we use the tactics and mentality of fighting in almost every situation, when really its proper realm is probably very, very narrow. So yeah, what's the alternative? I mean, how do people actually change, if not by being overcome with force? Why do people make the choices that they do? Why do they believe the things that they believe? It's because they're immersed in a story that's invisible to them. And that story, it's not just an intellectual construct, but it's attracted to a state of being. So if you talk to somebody who's maybe really into right-wing politics, there's probably some kind of anger or persecution or something that hurts inside of them, fear. And if you're in a state of fear, you're going to be attracted to a worldview that speaks to the necessity of control and fighting, and keeping yourself safe. So if you want to create change, I think you have to act on the level of story and the level of being, and to give people experiences that don't fit into their story and that transform the state of being that attracts that story to begin with. So here we're seeing kind of a union of the spiritual and the political.